never been good at conversation. I said I'm leaving now, so I'll see you at the station. You're not every place you go there's a reservation. Cause I'm one more step from being in isolation. Oh, but you're good in it close. You know that anything goes. Oh, but you're running for your life. You know that anything goes, but you're taking it in your stride. Yeah. And you're trying to keep a lid on the lies you sold. But you're running for your life. Ain't nobody gonna knock you off your stride. But you know I've never been good at conversation. I said I'm leaving now, so I'll see you at the station. You're not every place you go has a reservation. I'm one more step from being in isolation. Oh, but you're good in it close. You know that anything goes. Oh, but you're running for your life. You know that anything goes, but you're taking it in your stride.
Alright folks, welcome to the Besides the Norm podcast. We're back. This is week 3. We've missed fucking a couple of weeks due to illness.
We're a couple of weeks late, like.
And the auto DJ is off. Perfect. Yes.
Well done.
Welcome to
Well
the
done.
podcast because I'm amazing.
We're coming back with a fucking bang, lad.
And the auto ducking was on. Perfect. Absolutely amazing. Just to let you know, the first week we were off, which was like 2 weeks ago. Was that right?
Aye.
We had issues trying to get the actual stream working and stuff like that. So we couldn't do it live. So basically, and the week after that, we fell ill. So,
we conducted some man flu. So
it was quite bad.
It was fucking incredibly bad. Like,
Aye.
it's weird. See, right, I spoke about this at the meeting on Tuesday. But there was a cold where it wasn't a normal cold.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't wake up with like a tickly sore throat or anything.
No.
And I'm yet to get a sore throat. But I woke up feeling like I just had one nostril.
Just like...
I
one
felt
nostril was
like...
working.
You know, like if there's loads of shit in your nostril and you're trying to blow it out, you're fucking doing it hardcore like a maniac mental cunt.
Aye.
Aye. Well, I tried that. Nothing worked.
Jesus.
Absolutely nothing worked. I was there for about 25 hours just blowing one nostril for fucking ages. Just didn't work. Turned out I had a cold. So
Aye. I never got into that. I got like the night before, I knew it was coming along because I get like a gritty throat.
I normally get that as well.
Aye. So I got that and I was like, right, cool, that's fine. And then I started to cough a wee bit and I was like, right, cool, that's me started there. So that's when I wrote my eulogy for myself. And then I was like, well, book the ambulance, I'm dying. Basically. And that was about what? Not the whole week, but we didn't do the podcast on Thursday because we were just we're coming to the end of that sort of thing. And we could have done it, but I was getting a bit kind of coughy.
It was a bit coughy.
Aye.
That was the problem.
I just kept coughing quite a lot, and I was like, I didn't really want to do the podcast and just go, ah!
Because it's horrible sounding coughs as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's proper, like, growling.
And I smoke as well, so you get that kind of, well, it's just a real kind of awful thing, man.
Totally.
But I kind of enjoyed the 2 weeks off, though. I kind of enjoyed the 2 weeks.
It's a nice, peaceful thing.
I find as well, when I'm coming out to do the podcast, I still get this, like, oh, right, everything needs to be in perfect timing, and then I'm sort of worrying about all day, how's it going to go, have we got news stories and stuff like that. You didn't seem to get any of this.
No.
And I'm always the one just sort of sitting here going, right, we better get this ready, and I'm like I have to get my tea at a certain time ready to go before I'm freaking ready to start. You didn't get any of this at all.
I reckon why you get so worried.
Aye. And it's always fine. But always worry, just in case somebody's going to go wrong.
The whole point of division of labour,
Mm-hmm.
with you getting the music and me getting the news stories, is so that once you've got the music, you don't need to worry.
Aye.
And once
I
I've got
like
the
getting news
stories
stories as well. I like that's.
you add in the stupid, funny local news stories.
Aye, aye. I've
You're
not got any
adding
of
the
that.
boring shit.
Aye, aye. Well, it's not always boring. I think it's
boring.
it's interesting for people to get. But if people,
This week's interesting.
Aye, this week is quite interesting because we've had a wee bit an argument about this
Have we?
with other people,
All right, aye.
and but we'll get to it. I think we'll
Well,
wait.
that was about 2 weeks ago, though.
Aye, we'll keep.
This was meant to be 2 weeks ago.
Well, I think. Aye, well that's the problem. Aye, I think we'll save that to the end. I think, or close to the end.
Aye.
Keep you all listening. That's how radio does it. That's
Or
how we do it.
they'll just go, it's not worth it.
Well, if we
This is
explain,
pish.
if you want to explain what it is, and then people could make up their minds if they want to stay for
Well, basically, we spoke to some Nazis, didn't we, Stephen?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Well, you did.
I did.
You done all the speaking.
I spoke to the Nazis.
I just defended you speaking to the Nazis.
I spoke to some Nazi folk and asked them some questions and got some honest, like too honest answers. Like to the point where I could use words to describe them and they're like, aye, totally.
Aye, like it could sound deflammatory, like you're trying to like ruin their names.
Aye.
But they're like, no, you're correct.
Aye. Like racist propaganda.
Aye.
They're like, aye, totally.
I know
what we're doing.
that's what we're doing. Aye, totally. Racist scoundrels. So we're like, aye, we are scoundrels. Yes.
It was weird, like seeing the word propaganda used on their website as just a thing they do. Like when you hear propaganda, you're like, nah, they're trying to sell us something bullshit. And they're like, oh, we are totally trying to sell you something bullshit. I think they mean it like that. I think they mean the literal term.
What's the name of the group called?
British Movement.
British Movement. They were they're a group that's been going for years, but like on and off sort of thing, as far as I heard.
They were quite. I reckon if successful is the right word.
You can't say successful or prevalent because they weren't.
No.
None of the groups are
But-
successful or prevalent.
Well,
National Front were. at
National
one point.
Front, and they're kind of they were from the National Socialist Front or something. The National Socialist Movement.
They're like a kind of cast off in a group.
Aye.
Much like I can't believe it's not the IRA and stuff like that. That's what
It's
happens.
now one of these things where they're like, oh, you're no as racist as us.
Yeah.
Or you're too racist. We don't want to be quite as racist as you. It's weird.
Or like we have a political reason, or like we want to buy a toaster or something
Aye.
like that. Like we can't join this group because they are against toasters
Aye.
because they're made
Weird.
by the
I
Japanese.
wish I'd asked them about independence, but at that point, independence wasn't on the cards. I would imagine they'd be against independence.
You'd never know them
because all the racists are, aren't they?
But
everybody that wants to vote no is a racist. Is essentially what it is.
But do you not think there must be Nazi people out there that are like, all right, we're like proper Scottish.
There'd be Nazi anarchists and
Aye.
stuff like that who would be like, yes, totally, independence for everybody except black people
Aye.
because we don't like them.
See, whereas I'm completely different. I'm like, if we become an independent country, come up
Aye.
up
See,
here.
that's the thing,
Sit
right?
with us, lads.
The thing, the second paragraph they sent me on the second email, I was like, oh god, I disagree with everything you've said there. And because I was asking him questions and I wasn't being a dick to him, I'm assuming him, I reckon who it is. The guy, the person was sort of speaking to me as if I was like an echo chamber for him, like I was already agreeing with him. And I think he's used to just people that didn't agree with him saying, fuck you, you racist cunt. Whereas I wasn't, I was asking him questions. And I think it sort of caught him off guard. Which I like catching
because
people.
you didn't. Because I want them on. I want them on the podcast.
So that's why I didn't be a dick to them.
You didn't ask them any sort of real personal questions.
No.
Because what I want to find out for these kind of people is what made them go into that thing.
Aye.
Sort of thing. What kind of did a black guy?
And
rape
like
them or
I
something?
wasn't. I didn't lie to them. I didn't be like, I support your racism. I openly said
Aye.
I totally disagree with everything you say.
I think he's probably just happy with some sort of media outlet just asking them questions, sort of thing.
Aye.
Because that's what they're wanting. They're wanting to.
Well, he said again. They said
Aye.
that they were busy the now and that's why they couldn't. I reckon if that's true, I've got no idea.
How busy could they be? Really?
It could literally just be one guy putting out the posters, because I've heard nothing since. Easily one guy could do the jobs that I've seen being done in that group. Whereas like groups like Solidarity, it's a tiny wee party, self-promotion, yes. Solidarity, compared to like Labour and SNP, it's a tiny wee party, but you can tell that it's not just one guy running Solidarity. Whereas this British Movement thing could easily just be one guy. So
a lot of the stuff's hidden as well. There's not got any kind of like public website or anything like that. I mean, they have, but it's like it's real basic, and it seems like a couple
like
of
a blog spot.
Aye, quite cheaply done. Well, it's free today. They've not got a Facebook because they keep getting chucked off Facebook, obviously.
Which I disagree with. I think they should be.
They should be allowed to say what they want.
If people really want rid of Nazis, you need to let them speak.
You need to talk to them.
You need to let them speak. You need to let them make the arguments, because people are going to hear me using the words racist propaganda, and they're going to go, "Oh, I just a lefty snowflake, just dismissing people." I bet they're not even like that. See, this is what I said. I think as soon as they hear me saying these words that are true, that are literally used by this group, they think, "Oh, it's just a guy over exaggerating. It's just going to be an Air Britain First type deal," and it's not. It's much more than that. So we're going to talk about that a bit later on. Because that's way more than I thought I was going to.
Well, there's a bit of detail just to kind of let people understand what's happening. And because I've put in the thing, we're talking about the Kennoway Community Shed, Nazis and cannabis.
Aye.
So that's what we're talking about. So that gives people a wee bit of an explanation. We're not just saying Nazis are brilliant. We're not just saying that.
Actually saying the opposite.
We're saying the opposite. But aye, so it's an interesting thing. We'll get into that in a good while. Sorry, that first song we played was Backstage Paradise, Cutting It Close. Fantastic band. If anybody's just tuning in new to the podcast, we play sort of new Scottish tunes every week. Basically, like free new tunes for Scotland, and it could be in any genre. We've played. I think I've played like black metal once. We've played like Scottish reggae, for instance. A lot of hip hop. We're hip hop guys. We're hip hop fans. Punk, loads of stuff. Ska, loads and loads of different stuff, man. So expect that every week if you are new to it, man.
Totes my goats.
It's fantastic. So I'm excited to be back as usual. I read a story a wee while ago.
Right.
I was just talking to you about it before, just pretending that I've never spoke to you about this already.
Let's just pretend this conversation never happened. Carry on.
So Craig,
right,
the day,
right,
you heard the Vice News?
That's nah.
You have heard the Vice News?
I have.
Vice News is basically a website.
I've also heard the story, so let's play along.
Well, basically, just to explain to people, Vice News is a website based on anything really. They're supposed to be like.
They used to be really good at mental shit.
They're supposed to be like a more open and honest journalistic.
Are they still like that, or have they sort of went a bit mainstream?
Well, the thing is, they pride themselves on being like us, like different. They do different kind of news, sort of thing. Right. And they also do normal news, but they also do dumb shit, where they'll maybe speak to drug dealers, or they'll like interview a cannibal one week. They loads and loads of different kind of
Did you watch
left
that
field stuff. I did. It was interesting to watch. But this one, they basically talked to cannabis dealers in Chicago, in the Chicago area, because it's still illegal there. Right. So they spoke to them, and they were basically talking about what sort of things not to ask dealers, because dealers obviously get a lot of stupid questions sometimes, and I've got a story I'll go into after this. But one of the dealers mentioned the fact that a lot of the people that go to them are a lot more paranoid than what he is. Because he was talking about like people coming up to him and sort of like giving him like code words and stuff like that. He mentioned one which was somebody had created their own word for an ounce,
right, called
an onion. So the guy went to his house and he was like, "Oh, you got an onion?" And the guy's like, "What? What, an onion? Why did you call him mad over for an onion?" She's a kind, it's a code word, but just tell me what you want.
But how did he think it's a code word?
What do you mean? How did the dealer?
Aye.
Well, that guy comes for weed before. Like there's loads of daft code words that come.
Well, and he just came up and said, like, "I'm going to ask."
There's probably I reckon if somebody maybe met him on the street or went to his house, but I'm assuming this is a house situation.
Oh, it's so superb.
Aye.
paranoia inducing.
Aye.
And it's for fucking playground snacks.
Aye.
It's like, that's what I think of cannabis is being now.
Aye.
It's not like this edgy drug, oh, I smoke weed, I'm solid. No, you're buying Maltesers for the tuck shop, mate.
Aye,
That's what
basically.
you're doing. You're avoiding the bananas that the school offer you, and you're buying Maltesers for the shop. That's all you're doing. You're being a wee bit cheeky. You're getting a couple of calories, right? That's all you're doing. Yeah, it's not like...
It used to be a scary thing, or not even scary, but it used to be like a big thing.
Well, it used to be genuinely dangerous.
Aye.
In Kennoway, when you were buying hash,
Aye.
you're buying fucking shit tar.
Well, that's one of the stories I had. It was like, I remember the first time, like, I'd smoked weed before. I think it must have probably quite young.
Was it weed or hash?
It was like hash, like the brown shite.
Aye, sticky,
Just
fucking
solid stuff.
horrid,
So-
also cube shit, man.
Aye. And I just remember going to, like, the first time actually having to go to somebody's door for it. Because usually you'd meet somebody on the street, or, like, somebody would, like, phone somebody, you'd meet them somewhere or whatever. That's usually the way it would go down. Just to use terms that are terrible. So this was the first time, like, I'd actually got somebody's house that I can go to. And they were quite open and accepting people to come to the door and get it, sort of thing. So I was like, cool, man, I'll just go up. So I was sitting, like, panicking, thinking, oh, this is going to be some fucking hard bastard, and he's going to be acting hard, because there is people like that out there, and I've fucking dealt with them myself.
You've dealt with them.
Dealt with them myself.
Dealt with them all.
So I went to the door, and I was sort of like, thought, should I put in a swagger? Should I, like, collect it in a way that looks like some sort of fucking, like it doesn't look like I'm getting weed, but just do it weird. Like, put a tenner in my hand at one side, and then grab the weed on the other side of my hand, so it's on one swift movement.
Well, you're a fucking
so that if
magician.
the police see me, it just looks like I'm shaking this random person's hand at their door. Why? Why the fuck did that even go through my head at that time? Just loads of ridiculous wee things that you think before. And then meeting people on the streets are different ones as well, because you're like, are they going to be awkward when you go up? And then you're kind of awkward as well going for it, and you're like, because they usually do it in like a sort of public setting, sort of thing. So you're like, oh, should I do the wee side swipe hand thing?
No,
Should
never.
What do you talk about when you go up to them? Because you just want to be, interested in conversation with this person.
The weed dealers no kidding that though.
Aye, and that's what the article was about. It was interesting to read.
So I'm assuming that they're just saying, we sell weed, come and get the weed,
Aye,
and then leave.
and calm the fuck down.
Or if you want to speak to us,
Aye.
come in and have a conversation.
There's a lot of dealers that you go to that smoke weed themselves anyway. So you could just go in and they'll be smoking, and you can sit in here and smoke with them, sort of thing. But they're just saying, calm the fuck down, stop being so paranoid.
Also, you're just buying Maltesers.
Aye, basically, it's just basically cakes and scones you're buying, really.
I've never understood although saying that, I'd probably be like that as well if I was to ever buy.
Well, I was 15, and it was quite weird at the time for.
And
then I was wondering, like, I'm 15, are they going to sell me weed? Because I'm like a young teenager.
Aye.
But they did. I did get it.
See, I didn't smoke anything,
No.
so I'm quite bored. But I have bought.
I feel like you've missed it with that wee experience.
Well, I've tried.
Of the social. No, but I feel like you've missed out the social awkwardness that actually having to go and buy a drug.
Well, I have bought weed.
I bet. For like a real dealer though.
No, I bought.
Aye.
I paid my power to go to the dealer.
Aye. I feel like you've
And then
missed
Monk
it.
found my weed and gave it to you.
Oh, that's one of the great things about having a dirty weed smoking teenager son, and then she gives the other dirty weed smoking son, the real one.
Well, the great thing about that was because I didn't smoke fags or anything, and she was like, "Well, you wouldn't be smoking weed because that's you need to smoke fags to smoke weed." I was like, "Aye, well done with the knowledge, mum." Great. It's just from a pal, It's just from a pal. Because if his dad found it, he'd kill him or whatever. I was like, bullshit. It was mine and Gary's at the time. So.
I just put Gary and it dubbed him in. Snitch, dry snitching. That's what you call dry snitching, by the way. I recently found out dry snitching.
Is it?
It's when you're not directly telling the police someone, but you mention it in passing. There's
Oh,
dry
shit,
snitching.
I'm a dry snitch.
A dry snitch, aye. I love that.
God.
I love that term. I love the term dry snitching. I heard it once and I was like, what does that mean?
Is it snitching to tell somebody that you smoked weed?
No, really.
Is it even illegal anywhere?
The same as like somebody stole your Smarties.
Aye.
Somebody stole a couple of Smarties at your tube. Basically, that's the same.
How is this still illegal?
I don't know.
It's fucking insane. I cannot believe that this shit drug is still illegal.
Another thing I seen today from, I think it must have been BuzzFeed, one of the kind of terrible websites.
I love BuzzFeed, man.
But I hate the list, the ideas of the list.
The
of
list,
the websites.
shit. But
Because it's
what
just
I
when
love,
you
though,
scroll through, they've got their
Aye.
adverts at the side. It's,
the list stuff is cancer, right?
Aye.
That's cancer. Let's put some cannabis on that, right? Cancer, right? But what I do like about BuzzFeed is the stupid fucking video things today, like the Try Guys.
aye.
Love them. And like there was a thing I was watching the other day. It was a lassie taking a guy to some hotels. It was like a $50
$10 hotel to $35,000 hotel.
Aye. Ridiculous bit
Aye.
of fun video to watch.
Aye.
So BuzzFeed is like 50-50 cancer.
Aye.
Like you need a wee bit of cannabis oil for that.
Aye. Well, fuck off. So I watched one today. It was a rabbi, a priest, and an atheist. Oh, you seen this as well?
I shared it.
Brilliant. Was that you that shared it?
Aye.
I'm sure I've seen it for Robert McEnemies.
Nah, fuck Robert.
I keep saying his name wrong.
Fuck Robert. He's cancer as well.
So
I'll put him with some cannabis oil.
dry stitching again. Unbelievable.
What? I just said he's cancer.
Anyway,
Robert can smoke
so I watched that fantastic video, man.
Hated it.
The priest was a bit of a pussy, I would say.
How?
Go away, to
The
like
fucking old. Well, so was the rabbi.
So the rabbi was right into it, but the priest was like, you take like one small bong hit, and he was kind of like, oh, I'm feeling some effects with this. But the discussion they had lasted about 45 minutes, and they were like there for longer as well.
No.
It was amazing to watch, man.
Because-
I'll put a link in the
Of
description
course,
for you
the
to check
religious
it.
guys always need to go, but you do have some faith, don't you?
Oh yeah.
That's really annoyed
Aye.
that they always need to put that in. Yes, it's a different kind of faith. Fuck off. Stop trying to shove your fucking words on me. You
That's
cunt.
it. I'll put a link in the
Although I
description for anybody that's not seen it. It's quality. It's great to watch.
It seems to be a thing that the Jews seem to be more liberal, which is weird. Because you think with the Jews, they're using the Old Testament. They're using the really brutal shit in the Bible. But they seem to be a wee bit more liberal than the Christians are, which is fucking weird. Because the Christians are meant to be using New Testament. Jews are meant to be using Old Testament, and that's how it's meant to work.
Right.
So in Judaism, you're meant to be getting executed for being gay, whereas in Christianity, it's not the case.
He seemed pretty open with the gay guys sort of thing.
He seemed liberal, like,
Aye.
and I've noticed that with sort of rabbis and stuff, they seem to be more liberal than Christians.
I think it's just because religion, obviously, that's an old fucking historical. Some people like to say reference book, basically. So I think people are thinking nowadays, actually, shit's changed. We could take that sort of as in the sort of God's word sort of thing. We could take that into consideration. But let's swipe that kind of bullshit fucking thinking to the side. Missed it.
The Nazis are going to hate us, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely.
For
Well, I'm an atheist, and I'm like,
fuck the Jews.
well, I'm an atheist, and I'm like, just like, well, you can have that,
Aye.
and I'm like giving them credit for what they believe in.
Or the Nazis are probably Christians as well.
Yeah, well,
They tend to be,
grow up, people.
which is again mental.
Aye.
I didn't even understand. But
Aye.
that was a good thing. The gay black atheist.
Conservative guy as well.
Oh, fuck's sake! You ruined.
What does that word mean in American? I think it's different there. Here, isn't it?
It means.
How much?
I see. I reckon
Nah.
because.
You've done a podcast with India about this.
Well, we have explained, like, the conservatives in America tend to be anti-abortion and anti-gay rights and very pro-crony capitalism,
Right.
whereas the conservatives that are here are just pro-crony capitalism. That's pretty much it. They're no anti-gay rights. Some in the Conservative Party definitely are, but as a party, generally they're not anti-gay rights. They're generally quite liberal,
Right.
quite left-wingy when it comes to social rights, like pumping who you want, essentially. But like they'll be against drugs and stuff like that. Though you're never going to get a Conservative government making weed legal. You're not going to get that.
I can't see that happening ever.
At least no in the next couple of decades.
No.
Like that's gonna. But in America, like they making abortion illegal when them gays need to be illegalized. Fucking stupid idiot shit, man. I've never understood homophobia. Homophobia has
It's a wasted time.
even as a child, right, where I didn't really ken anything. I was like, you hate him because he's like, what the fuck? That's such a waste of time. that you're putting so much effort into something that literally doesn't fucking matter.
Is it now? I've always felt the same way about racism. It's kind of just, why are you wasting your time bothering about that?
No.
Like, I didn't care much for community gossip or celebrity gossip, so I didn't waste my time on it. And racism isn't part of my life, so I didn't concentrate on it.
No.
But it seems like that's such a small thing. It's such a huge part of people's lives. And I didn't care why. I didn't understand why.
Oh, fucking no idea.
It makes no sense. Is it because I'm sort of just not interested? Because there's a lot of things that I probably should be interested in that I kind of swipe aside.
Loki made a good point in one of his songs. The unimportance of being idle, I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
Where he's talking about the middle class people who are sort of talking about, and he was talking about he was talking about people talking about how racism is shit and that, and he's like, it's easy to say that when you live with your mum in an all Caucasian neighbourhood. I can't remember what the actual bar was, but it was something like that. And we're kind of like that. We're no middle class, and we do live with your mum, but we are in a totally Caucasian neighbourhood.
Aye.
There's a couple of people that aren't white. That's it.
No.
So maybe we are stuck in that sort of thing where it doesn't affect us at all. Whereas if we lived in London, we'd be like, oh, the fucking immigrants.
I suppose that's correct, aye. Because I've only ever seen maybe 5 black people in Kennoway ever. I think that's pretty much about it.
Well, I've seen the same guy 5 times. That's pretty much all I've seen in Kennoway.
I suppose, aye. There was a woman that stayed up at the flat. She was in like the homeless shelter for a wee while. I can't remember. She got to kind of a few people up there. There's been a couple. I can't really remember. Mind that guy? He was like a London guy. We've seen him on the bus a few times.
I was speaking to him. Yeah, he was nice.
I think he stayed in Myerside or something.
Did
he?
He
got off at Myerside, so I assumed he stayed round the way.
Oh, I remember is Eugene for the youth.
Eugene as well. Aye, totally.
But he stayed in Edinburgh.
Aye. Right, aye.
He liked breakdancing. Just well done with the stereotypes, Eugene.
For
fuck's sake.
And hip hop, he loved hip hop.
Hip hop, aye.
I went up one day and it was a.
Sorry for me, I liked hip hop as well. So
Well, that's it, aye. Because I went up one day and I was like, I was doing like DJ tutoring on like real terrible decks. And I went up one day and I had that tune, that Young Jibs. That
Right.
Does your chain hang low? Like that. Utter shite.
Did he come in doing
But he loves all that stuff. And he'd never heard it before. And I was like, well, that's on the Billboard, that's like an American tune. And I said, well, it's no bigger here because it's
hip hop.
It's like right southern twang stuff. Like that's really only big in America. No.
Even people like Migos and all these shite rappers are only really big in America. I mean, how many folk ken who Young Thug is?
Well, that's it. I think it's more a prevalent thing in England and stuff like that. There's a lot more people that pay attention. Well, like in England, you could actually hold a cipher. And the skill.
Aye. And in Scotland, to hold a cipher, you need to plan it on Facebook.
Aye. For anybody that's like Alden doesn't ken what that is, a cipher is basically where a bunch of rappers get together in a wee circle and kind of just rap one after the next, and it's a prevalent thing.
I have never been in a real cipher.
Nah, just things outside gigs and stuff.
I've been on an open mic. I've rapped to people's faces, but I've never been in a cipher. A proper cipher where it's just a circle of MCs and they go round. I've never been in a real cipher.
Well, I don't get involved in them, but I've seen a few like outside gigs and stuff like that. It's pretty interesting because people start and then somebody will be like, oh, they're not very good, I'll jump in, sort of thing. And then somebody will be like, well, I don't think you're very good, so I'll fucking jump in. So they're all trying to better each other.
And start stabbing each other in the neck.
They're the most organic and best things ever because people are like, the egos get the better of everybody. And it's great just to watch people thinking of the best stuff they've got to come up with. It's
Do you mind that the second, what was meant to be the second Bristol Battles, and
that's
Silver Tongue and Word, Gupsy, Swad, GBH, Mr. Mackenzie was there as well, and then Ratson on the beatbox,
the beatbox harmonica, man, that was beautiful.
That was fucking delicious, man.
See, I didn't understand why people kind of get into hip hop culture. Mainly because I'm into it, so I don't understand why people.
What the fuck was the chances of Ratson being there with a harmonica? What was the chances of that?
It's amazing.
Ridiculous.
I didn't even get beatbox, man. I'd known him for a while, but I didn't get beatbox. It's amazing.
What did you reckon him as? Just a producer?
Well, he was in a band with Aaron Corrigan,
right,
who is my pal. Basically.
Fathead.
Aye, Fathead. Aye, totally.
Is it alright to say that?
I think well, that was his
Did
name.
he that was his name?
Aye, totally.
Alright.
He kind of got used to us calling him Fathead.
Right.
He didn't even really have a fat head.
Did he know?
It was one of these shit nicknames that people get. We've spoken about this before, the whole nickname thing.
Aye.
Quiffer. It's ridiculous one. There's a guy, well, I'll get this out of the way, there's a guy that stays close to us that somebody seen him coughing once and knew he's called Quiffer.
That's just his name?
He coughed once and it might have been just a wee bit too loud, and now his name is Quiffer. It's amazing. I'd love to talk to the guy one day and just say, you can't even got like a weird nickname now because you just coughed once.
Like, for everybody around here that you didn't even kid exists.
Aye, totally.
Like
I've never spoken to the guy, but I ken he's called Quiffer.
He has got no idea that there's like 8 hussies round about him that just ken him as Quiffer. And he's got no idea. He doesn't speak the areas.
Fucking hell.
It's weird.
And can we say Man Gran? Will people care who that is?
Nah.
I don't care whether I should have said that or not, but that's it's
What
done.
Man Gran, that's size.
Man Gran.
He says in Kennoway as well. So.
Aye, that's unbelievable. Christ, just ridiculous. What was my point of going to fucking stupid nicknames?
Fathead.
Aye, totally.
He was in a band with
I
Fathead.
met Ratson through that sort of thing. So I was listening to rap through Bebo, the Bebo days, man. I was listening to rap at that time, and Ratson got one day sort of like that I was involved in doing Scotland stand up, and that's how we met. So
Was he a rapper at this point?
I didn't think so. I think he was getting in about producing.
Because he
at that time,
him
he
and
wanted to
Lloyd,
rap.
Ratson and Lloyd.
Aye. He wanted to rap at that time, but he was wanting to find a rapper. He thought I was a rapper because I wrote like wee daft rhymes now and again. And I was like, I didn't actually rap, and this is you better probably getting somebody that knows what they're doing.
Although you have got a song, haven't you, Stephen?
Nope. Let's move on.
Pretty sure you do.
What we're going to do is we're going to play this next song. There's a bit of time. This is a band called I.SOLAR. This track's called Concubine. Enjoy.
Pressure's not there to make it stay. Call up the head,
I.SOLAR with a track called Concubine. Fucking fantastic.
That doesn't work very well, does it? That thing that keeps the music down. Because
The minute you get like a wee breathing space, you have
Aye.
to speak pretty loud on these things.
aye, and as soon as you didn't say anything,
Aye, that comes back on. I think I've set the delay to like a second or something like that. It's like
hardly. It's like half a second, if that.
I think
It's fucking instant. It just comes back.
I'm going to set the delay longer. I
Fucking
think
bastard into you.
I'll set
Set it like 3 or 4 seconds.
Aye. That way I've got a wee bit of breathing space.
Jesus.
It's an interesting wee thing. I love it. So let's talk about the Kennoway Community Shed, boy. It's interesting, man.
I like it.
The last podcast we done, we actually spoke about what it's going to be like, and fucking because we had any idea.
I did make a mention though that the name would probably get changed.
Yeah.
I made a prediction.
Oh, you called it.
Fucking psychic.
You called it, son.
I knew that in today's climate that wouldn't go down very well.
That's it. And I didn't realise there was like so many of them as well. So many different kind of groups.
I didn't.
And they're all different named.
I mean, I did because I'd searched it.
Yeah, you researched it. I didn't find it until you came down the stairs. But it was a real interesting thing. Bob McPhail, absolute legend.
A legend in the game.
Legend in the game, man.
He should be standing for the council, actually.
Well, he's what I don't know if he's interested.
I care he's not interested. That's why I'm annoyed. That's why people like me end up needing to fucking do it. Because the people that are going to be good at it didn't want to do it.
I think Bob sort of works in and out the community loads of times.
He doesn't need to stand for the council. But
I know, but it's good hearing the people because a lot kind of he's loud, brash.
I'll fully admit that he would be a better councillor than me. Totally admit it. I would totally admit that.
But that's what I think. Like if you got somebody like Bob on your side, sort of thing, you can Bob. It's probably good to have as well. But I think Bob should stand. Bob would be great. But we went up to the first meeting. Pretty interesting, man. They sort of set out kind of what he was doing today, and then everybody sort of put up. Well, if you don't understand what it is, the men's shed is basically where people from the community get together and they kind of mix up their skills a wee bit and kind of work on different stuff. Really, a lot of the time. I think we're focusing more towards the what can we do for the community rather than what could we do for like separate people sort of thing.
Aye. There's a men's shed through it in Kinghorn, I think. I think it was. But that's literally just a tool shed.
Right.
It's just for sort of men or women. But it's sort of marketed towards men. The whole idea of it is to have like what would be in a men's shed. Like Jim across the road. He's got his own wee men's shed where he used to build his trains and stuff like that. That's the kind of thing that I think they were going for. We're like that on a bigger scale. But this is for a mere community thing where it's a place for the disabled to go, a place for the unemployed, a place for pensioners to go when they're
everybody
bored.
Man. Fucking anybody. That's one thing I would kind of urge people is to go up and do it because it seems like a great thing. The idea is sort of like doing stuff for the community sort of thing. Like they were talking about like different putting planters up and like bird boxes and stuff like that. That's interesting as it is. There's kind of negativity that comes with that as well for some people. It'd be like, oh, Ken, there's people going to fucking knock it air or maybe kick it and shit. But I would think that because it's a community shed and because people have got such respect for Bill already, that people maybe out in the streets.
Bob.
What did I say?
Bill.
Oh, Jesus, aye, Bob.
How much respect do you got for Bob Lord?
Don't count over his name.
Bill McPhail, man.
Big Bill. But I'm thinking that people maybe will sort of gain a wee bit of respect for that community group.
I hope
sort of
so.
thing. And then what I would love to see is if somebody pings a fag up in a fucking plant pot.
To see their powers kicking them in the head?
Well, no. That's no.
Right.
But like a person at the bus stop or something like that, just going, hey, what the fuck? That was the Kennoway Community Shed. We've done that.
That was Monk and Scuba that made that.
Well, it wouldn't be us.
Swipes fun up it, but I mean it's there.
And we're hoping today some sort of podcast work as well.
Nah.
Bob has commented on my link, so I don't reckon if he's like, wait now, I'm going to check it now. Check it live, son.
Calling you a dafty.
Bob for council, I love it, guys.
Aye.
Go for it, Bob. Go for it right now. Do it right now. Is he late? Is he too late?
No, he's not too late.
No, you can go for it right now.
It's literally just started. If he wants any info on it, I've just been at the meeting, so.
Aye, fantastic, man, fantastic. But the sort of idea today and stuff for the community is something that sort of I admitted the other day that I've never really been interested in for all the years. I've always kind of laughed and kind of like made jokes about Kennoway and stuff like that. But after sort of going to the meeting, I've been like, actually, we could fucking do something.
Aye, because I felt like that as well. I was like, oh
Aye.
shit, I've got no practical skills whatsoever. I could speak
Aye.
for a couple of hours.
It's good that they're taking the podcast thing on board though,
Aye.
because I was like, maybe they'll just sort of hear it and say, what the fuck are we going to do with that?
Aye.
What really could we do with a podcast?
Media though, innit?
But it's media, and the idea I put forward was that, like, if we were to do like 15 minutes of a talk after a session, or just like once a month, sit down for half an hour to an hour and go over everything we've been doing for that month.
I like the idea that I think Anis came up with of like interviewing the head teacher at Kennoway Primary,
Aye.
because that's something we wanted to do, and
Aye,
if we can't
definitely,
get in touch with them, maybe the group can do it.
Maybe they can, aye. That's another
So we
great
could
thing,
we could record it and let everybody.
because
in the
that's
group
there,
sort of
there you
ask
go.
people.
Actually, there's a point where we struggle because we are two wee sweary guys on the internet just doing a wee daft kind of podcast
Sweary
thing,
podcast.
and I think we struggle a wee bit when we're trying to get in touch with community leaders and stuff because we've had it before.
Jenny Gilruth specifically said, "Oh, you're a bit too sweary."
A bit too sweary, aye.
Ali said he was going to sort that, but he's not sorted it yet.
Aye. I think don't fear the swear.
Nah,
That should be our slogan for the.
we were on with Nancy. Nancy didn't want us to swear, and we
Aye,
didn't
aye.
swear.
We didn't. Aye, exactly.
You fucked up a couple of times.
I did, aye, and I cut them out.
Did you cut them out?
Aye.
Right.
There was one. I said the word shit, but somebody spoke at the top of it,
Right.
so you could hear it, but you could also not hear it at the same
Aye.
time. It's a
That's-
weird. It's a weird one.
It's a downfall for us, because I could argue to my heart's content. I don't know if that's the right phrase. I could argue that swearing doesn't mean that I'm less intelligent. It doesn't mean I've got less vocabulary. It just means that I like swearing.
Aye.
But it doesn't matter if other people think see it that way. They're just going to be like, "Oh, he swears. He's quite clearly a stupid Ned." So fuck him.
That's it. I think I didn't think it's an issue, but obviously some people do have that issue. So obviously we'll keep the community one sort of no swears.
Aye.
Keep the
Or
swears
as
away.
well, we can let other people swear if they want,
Aye.
but we'll know the end of the swearing.
That's to get back to my point. If we're going to do that, I would suggest every month just get as many of us as we can to sit down for an hour. If me and you were to do it as a sort of hosting point sort of thing, we'd host it, get people in sort of individually. I wouldn't do it live because it'd be too hard to do.
Also, there's the internet, so
Aye, exactly, aye. Well, there you go. It'd be a pre-recorded thing. We'd get folk in to talk about what they were doing, and if anybody had specific stuff to say, we'd just get them in and talk about that. An hour podcast every month with them. Is that Bob again? It is.
is it?
We'd get them in like just for an hour and sit down and talk to them. And then the great thing is that there's so many people on Facebook in that group. Even if like I think there was like 40 odd people on that group. If everybody was to share that link once and got 2 people listening, you do the maths. How many people was that?
Does that include the
45 times 2.
Does that include the plays of the 40 people that were sharing it?
Aye.
Because then it's 40 times 3,
There
so
you
you're
go,
at 120.
120 people. And that's just with 2 people listening. We get maybe 60 some weeks.
My God, you put me on the spot there. Fuck.
Aye. Sorry,
Hold
man.
that right.
You're a good maths guy. You're a
Hold
good maths
that
guy.
right.
You get, well, we get like 60 on a good week, sort of thing. Sometimes 80 for the hip hop ones.
Aye.
But and that's just us promoting it, sort of thing. And I think if everybody was to share it, maybe people take a wee bit more.
And
of
we're
an
sharing
interest.
it like in Kennoway,
Aye.
which is it's really hard to get a. Let's
Bob's
respond
fucking
to Bill.
stung. He's not off the face.
The Bob, I've said Bill now.
You are what you are, guys. Be yourself quite a lot. Chloe.
Legend.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Bob. Thank you. Aye.
Both for council.
So what do you think of that idea for like an hour podcast thing every month?
Oh, I maybe know an hour.
I think an hour we can get a lot of stuff out. Talk a wee bit shite in between everything as well.
Well, it's sort of a gab, innit?
Well, that's our specific selling point, is that we're just irreverent a lot of the time.
We're going to need to start drinking tea, I think, because I think here a cup of tea and just sitting back and having a gab with the rest of the fucking community group.
Gab, son.
Whereas we drink fucking Volvic, so we're like the hipsters.
Okay, what's funny about that word?
The fat.
We were talking about like funny words. Volvic is a funny wee word to add into there. Volvic
In that
works.
context.
Volvic works comedically and rhythmically. It's
Two fat
fantastic.
cunts just sitting there sipping on Volvic.
Here a wee Volvic.
Aye.
I don't know why that works, but it's just a
Oh,
great wee word.
there's a cup of tea and a biscuit. We're in our Volvic.
So, well, we could do that, definitely. Aye, a wee cup of tea.
I hate tea, man.
Aye.
hate tea.
How do you hate tea?
Oh, it's shit.
It's
Mr.
ridiculous.
Master made us World War.
Bob doesn't like chicken, you don't like tea. You're a fucking
nobody cares
weirdos.
what Bob likes to eat. That's ridiculous. They like chicken.
Never had it. Never had chicken either.
Nonsense.
Do you believe
It's
that?
nonsense.
I didn't believe that for 1 second. He's
nonsense.
never had chicken.
Our grand's never had pasta. So
Never had rice.
never had rice either, or pizza.
She doesn't like foreign muck. She says rice and pasta.
She needs
At least not that far away.
Your grand's not going out and joining the fucking British movement.
I just love the fact that she's never had pizza. Like, that's a ridiculous thing to say.
Well, we're going to find out next Sunday, aren't we? We're going to ask her if she's had pizza.
Aye.
She better have, or I'm going to punch
Just
her.
never ever had rice.
I'm going to end up punching my gran.
Never had rice, never had pasta. Imagine never having macaroni and cheese.
Have we ever told the
That's
story
amazing.
about our gran swearing?
It's probably... we're
Because
talking about swearing, you might as
most
well.
other people are like, oh, can't I swear in front of my granny? Like, our gran swears in front of us.
Aye.
And she, for no reason
Aye.
at all. Like, she was walking...
You're better telling that story, so we go.
Our gran was walking out of the living room
Bob again.
to get coffee or tea or whatever, and she coughed twice. She just went, cunt. For no reason. There was no reason for her to say cunt.
Oh.
She just coughed and said cunt. And that was her entire sentence. Then she went and made some coffee or tea.
That was it, aye.
Or got some tea cakes or
She
whatever.
didn't seem to come through the sitting room for anything either. It's like she just came through to cough and just say the
Say
word
the word
cunt and then left.
So if you wonder
Unbelievable.
where we get our swearing,
Aye.
that's our family,
That's
I'm
it.
afraid to say.
Bob said there he's never been to KFC.
Well, neither have I.
I didn't care if he'd...
Actually, I have. Then I shat myself on the bus.
And now you've brought the tone down.
Aye.
Unbelievable. I don't think Bob understands that you can actually have chicken in the house. You don't need to go to KFC, because he kept saying that at the meeting. He's like, I've never had a KFC. You don't need to go outside to have
Where is the
chicken.
nearest KFC?
Is it no Kirkcaldy? Something like that?
Is it? I don't
There's
think
like
I know
KFC, McDonald's and all that stuff.
I've been to KFC a couple of times. Maybe twice,
Mm.
3 times.
But anyway, we'll get to the point.
Aye, doesn't
We'll get
matter.
to the point. There's before the open date, but basically we have meetings every Tuesday from
Tuesday.
10 to 1 p.m. So
This Tuesday,
we're
taking
going to
up
be taking up studio gear
our
and stuff like
equipment to take pictures and to maybe interview Bob a wee bit for next
Hopefully,
week's.
Well, we could ask him right now. Bob, can we talk to you on the podcast? That'd be quality.
Aye, call
There
it.
you go.
We've got maybe
We'll just sit here and wait till he answers.
We've got a 10-15 minute interview for him to explain what he envisions for the because it's just 2 guys.
It'd be good to see where he actually got the idea from as well. Like, did somebody bring it up? Like, what happened?
Aye, there's another point. If you didn't stay in Kennoway, get one of your two.
Aye, totally, aye. There's a few elsewhere. There's like some in Buckend. Bob could probably talk about that as
Do you
well.
know, it'd be great to just see a men's shed type thing in Windigates and Leven, Buckhaven, Methil.
Windigates could probably join here. Like, Windigates is pretty wee.
Is it?
Well, it's wee. I just think it is that one road. I keep forgetting there's like Henderson Park.
there's
It's quite
loads in
huge.
there.
Aye, totally. I forgot about that. Aye. I feel the same way about that as like the Courtney Weems. It's just the road to Kirkcaldy. I forget there's other houses.
You ever been into anybody's house in Courtney Weems?
Once or
It's
twice.
weird.
Aye,
It's
aye.
like going into the 4th dimension. You're like, wow, I've never been here before.
Aye,
That's
it's like
mental.
weirdness, man. Not a problem. He says quality.
quality.
We'll get Bob on next week.
Take
Fantastic.
a picture of his beautiful face and that.
There you go.
Bro.
Flash it about everywhere. Fantastic. So basically that's like every Tuesday from 10 to 1. So anybody sort of involved in the community, come up, man. Come up. Young, old, do what you want. Totally. That's quality.
Totally.
Bring some skills. We've got a...
Bring more skills than we're bringing up.
Aye, totally. We could talk for an hour. Yes. That's our shit.
Bodily.
I'm quite looking forward to getting like involved in the woodworking side of things, because it's something like I've been interested in for a while, so I'm going to get right in about it.
We've got an air comment.
So, was it?
Isn't the man shed thing to help male domestic abuse victims?
Who said that?
Ronnie.
No. There you
No.
go. That's the answer.
That's the answer.
That's something.
That-
I mean, maybe there's another name like the WWF. I was going to talk
That
about.
sounds like something that might exist actually, like
Right.
to make it seem more manly.
Right.
Like, you didn't need to go to the support house. You can come to the men's
Oh, I
shed.
thought she was being serious. Like there was another group, like it was WWF situation. There was another group with just the same name.
No, she might be. That might be a genuine thing. There might be a crossover, but I don't think so. I've not seen that.
Sunbed and nails booked in. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
What was it?
He's just saying he's getting dressed up for the
Oh,
interview. Getting sunbed and he's getting his nails done.
painted. Nah,
Somebody's writing again. That's probably Bob.
it's probably Bob.
Which kind of want to go on with the podcast, Bob, if I'm going to be honest.
This is part of the podcast. We need social interaction.
This is. I
He's
like
the
this.
only person that spoke to us for the past 3 weeks.
That's it.
No, because we've not, we could go on and just
Aye.
answer when.
So, basically, again, plugging again, 10 to 1 every Tuesday.
And then an open day on the 4th of April.
I sit the what do you call the place? The changing rooms, the football changing
the
rooms,
football
sort of
changing
thing. Yeah, it's in there. Aye, chef as well. Well, Craig's not got a skill. I've got a skill. Craig's not got any. Craig's
What
got
do I
nothing.
do? I could do computers. Could do some computing
Well, I
stuff.
suppose that there's a wee bit.
See, here's the
there's a wee
weird
bit
thing.
of disability towards kind of computers and stuff. Like
Well, here's the thing, right?
that sounded absolutely terrible
Aye.
for me to say that.
I've not got any specific computing skills.
Aye.
I've just got weird things that I can do on the computer that most other people don't.
Aye. Well, that's the thing. I used to be the sort of go-to person to fix people's computers,
Aye.
but I only knew a limited amount, so I used to just like sort of turn it off now and again, and then like
if
install
somebody
a
had an
disk.
issue with a virus, you can get rid of the virus and stuff
And
like that.
Facebook has like really like specific things and stuff like that you kind of, after years of using it, people are kind of new to these things, so
Aye.
you probably help in that sense as well.
Aye,
There you go. So again, 10 to 1 every Friday.
Tuesday.
Every Tuesday. There's an open day on the 4th of April.
We'll be explaining our podcast stuff.
We'll be explaining all the podcast stuff. There'll be people sort of
How
showing.
long is that on for? Is that still just 10
I
to 1
think
again?
10 to 1. 10 to 1. Sure it is the same thing. So everybody will be sort of talking about all the stuff we're going to be doing. There's like different rooms that you can go into and talk to different people. So that's going to be pretty cool. And I think we'll probably hear like a wee demo of some of the stuff we're going to be building and
Aye.
shit like that. It's going to be pretty
It's
cool.
going to be
man.
no like... What? It's going to
So-
be no.
It's going to be no. I think what you're talking about, Craig. That's
Doesn't even make any
ridiculous.
sense.
It's a ridiculous thing to say.
Right, are we going to get on with some fucking stories now?
Aye, totally. Aye. Bob stopped. So, give me a go on with this. Oh, somebody's left a message in the community shed. Oh no, they've not. Just a like, man. That's
Right.
fine. So, right, you got news to go through?
I've got a couple of things now.
Go for it, man.
Well, I could do this. I could do my first one, and then you could do that one.
Right.
So teenagers apparently are not using as much. I've written down drugs,
Got no drags.
drugs and alcohol, and far from being a good thing, or admitting that's a good thing, and that teenagers are maybe just smarter than us. They're like smartphones that are playing.
Fuck off.
People.
This is where I get the sweary part. This is where it comes from. That is ridiculous. I've noticed, like when I was at school, there was.
This isn't even the scientists saying that.
No.
The scientists are just saying that teenagers aren't taking as much drugs and alcohol, right?
Aye.
It's the fucking media that are like, oh, aye, there'll be fucking smartphones now. They're snorting their smartphones and that.
Christ.
Fucking.
I hate. Oh man, right. Let's go into this, right? In the 70s and stuff like that, like Mum talks about being at the school and stuff like that, and pretty much everybody was smoking. Everybody like thought it was a cool thing to do. When I got to my point at school, which was like the 90s, the kind of early 2000s, there was a lot less people smoking, but there was still the orange corner bit that everybody used to go to smoke. Still a fairly big percentage, but a lot of people were like, oh, fags are minging. And I was like, no, they're not. Then I just went in my corner and smoked away. So, you notice at that point, there's a lot of people not smoking.
Nah.
Nowadays,
I think I was one of the first generations where it was mostly not
aye,
smoking.
because I minded talking to you about it one day, and you were like, actually, there's not very much people there.
I think there was like
Because
two.
we're finally getting to the point of realising that this is fucking ridiculous.
In the morning at 10 to 9. No, you went in at 8:45 for registration, didn't you? So
Aye,
about
something like
20 to 9. If you were to go in the back, there'd be 8 people.
Shit, in my day, it was about maybe 20 to 30, maybe.
Right, and you're 6 years older than me.
Aye.
So in 6 years, it's went from 30 to like 8.
It's amazing, honestly. I rode the day. I've never used that term.
And when I was
terminology
at
before.
college, there was like 2 people in my class that smoked, and one of the guys was in his 40s. So, like, of course, one started smoking after they left college. Fucking well, the bell end.
Oh, Jesus, right.
Idiot. But aye, nobody seemed to smoke because we're all just like, well, that's just dumb.
Well, that had the Reaper way.
Aye.
Oh, Jesus. If anybody's interested, me and Willie, who was talking about there, that started smoking after college like an idiot,
So he was like 18 or 19 when he started smoking. What a dumb age to start smoking.
We done a video where we ate the hottest chili in the world, the Carolina Reaper. So we'll put a link in the description. Might as well advertise everything.
To go back to the men's shed, apparently it did start in Australia as that.
Did it?
So she was right.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
So,
Cool.
yeah.
What did you say it was again?
It was to help domestic abuse victims, male domestic abuse victims. Which makes sense.
Right.
That's not what it was here for, though.
Oh, no. Oh, that's interesting, man. That'll be good to bring up. Aye, sorry, what were you saying? What was happening?
Come on.
Smoking's terrible.
Aye, smoking's a terrible idea.
Aye.
Shouldn't do that. And nobody's willing to admit that teenagers might just be smart enough to know that, because teenagers need to be stupid. It needs to be the devil teenagers that are ruining everything nowadays.
Kids, as much as we like to think, we can like hearing about the things with people at the high school and stuff fighting and shit like that. There was maybe only 2 fights.
And there was fights when I was at high school.
There was fights when we were at high school at the time. But that seemed like there was only 2 fights that were recorded. New in the day and age now, if there was loads more fights, they'd be recorded.
And back then, two people had cameras.
Just think about this for a second. If there was loads more fights, they would all have been filmed. I've only ever heard of 2 fights for that time. Although I've not got a lot of people for the high school on my Facebook, to be fair. But I've only ever heard of the 2 fights that happened. There used to be tons of fights all the time when I was at the school.
It was a weekly occurrence.
But if there's fucking 2, then fucking who cares? There's 2 fights.
And back then, not even everybody had phones to... Even when I was at high school, like, the first iPhone was...
I guarantee if we had smartphones in the days, it would be the same. It would be the exact same as right now. Because it's just natural, it's just what happens.
Exactly. It's stupid that we just vilify anybody that's young.
I think kids are a lot smarter nowadays, as much as we like to think that kids are getting fucking stupid because they're just...
fucking education is significantly better now than it was in the fucking... in the 70s.
Definitely, aye. I think aye. And they're using a lot of kind of like smart technology as well, and the information that's available on the internet nowadays.
It's so
it's
vast.
fucking amazing.
Like, I was really fucking dumb when I left school, to the point where at college doing computing, I did not know how to use a comma. I had no idea what a comma was, and now I'm like, no, it's easy. It's just it's a comma. What are you struggling with?
Moan at me for not using commas.
I'm a prick.
I'll tell you how dumb I was when I left school. Still to this day, to be fair.
I remember this.
Great story. I used to ticket a lot. I was a wee arsehole. I used to just no go. I was never an arsehole in the sense I was like fighting all the time.
No.
But just didn't want to go, sort of thing. And I was smoking weed at the time, so I was a wee arse. I just kind of fucked off it elsewhere.
Was he smoking weed? Fuck, I was so bored.
Just a boring child.
I was just sitting at school.
But stuff. Aye. But I missed loads of classes. And I missed so much that, like, everybody learns about World War II and Nazi Germany and kind of Auschwitz, all the like, kind of the camps and stuff like that. I missed all that. And I got the chance through doing youth work to go to, I think it was Poland and Norway. So I got the chance to go to Poland, and then when we went, it was a few weeks before, they were talking about going to Auschwitz while we were in Poland. And I was like, what's Auschwitz? What's that? That's like the main camp, like the big one everybody talks about.
Did they sort of turn around? What?
Yes. I was like, I think I was 18 at the time. And I was like, what's Auschwitz? And there was a few other ones that were like students, just maybe a couple of years older than me, and they were like, what? You've never heard of Auschwitz? And they also hadn't, like, I knew. You
knew who Adolf Hitler was.
I knew who Adolf Hitler was, but I didn't learn anything about sort of World War II, how it started.
Did you know what the Holocaust was?
I had no fucking idea.
Jesus.
About the Holocaust. That's how stupid I was and how much I didn't pay attention. And I also missed like the whole Nazi Germany talks.
How are you able to tie your shoes?
But anyway, like a few weeks before that, because of the wonderful internet, I was able to research a wee bit on and find out.
Because you brought a DVD in for me at this point.
Aye. Well, when I was through there, they were sort of selling DVDs to advertise their buildings or whatever. And so I bought one.
It's weird that a fucking death camp is just a tourist attraction now.
Aye.
Is it? Do you need to pay to get in?
I can't remember actually.
So
if anything, it would have been supplied for. I think it was the kitty that we put together. If anything, it came for there.
The thought he just privatised death camps
Jesus.
to create a tourism industry. Ugh.
No, it's disgusting, man. Honestly,
horrible.
see when you go there, it's fucking terrible,
They've
man.
still got, like, the
I've seen loads of
shoes.
people greeting and stuff like that, and there was like loads of people leaving like candles on the. There was like the pond thing where they just
See, I
dumped all
didn't-
the death ashes.
See, I
on the
didn't
days.
understand the symbolic sort of leaving of candles and stuff like that.
That's just a thing that.
If that's
does.
what makes people feel better,
There's
then
like
cool,
a
but-
there's a area there where like there's like loads of different countries written down and a candle burning sort of thing.
Right.
So everybody kind of
They've
leaves.
still got a big collection, like in a glass case, of shoes and stuff within them.
Shoes, glasses. There's like the
Fucking
blankets made of Jew hair.
wow.
Aye, totally, all that shit, man. And like stuff taken off them, like all the suitcases.
Hitler was a piece of shit, wasn't he?
Yes, he was, man. Yes, he was. Well, I didn't ken that at the time. Before I went.
God,
Ridiculous, man. So that's again, and if
that sort of being reminded of that makes me despair when people call folk like Trump just a Nazi. Like, a Nazi means so much more than just being a prick. Yes, he's a prick, but a Nazi, like, to be called a Nazi, he needs to have done something first. You can't just call him a Nazi based on the starting position.
That's
It's really bad. Is it?
Marie Boyne, do you ken Marie Boyne? Must be a pal of Bob's. She's I'm listening to more swear words than I'm used to.
Oh, my bad.
This is just what we do, Marie. Sorry, just how we do
Sorry about that.
it. So, let's stop talking about Nazi Germany. What were we talking about?
You were finished talking about that.
Oh, you were finished talking.
Teenagers are fine. Stop dissing them.
Oh, this is an interesting thing. I don't know how many people are going to get involved in this, but
0.
well, I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
But what am I going to do for an hour?
Turn all the lights
It's a
on.
Saturday night. Like, what am I going to do? So, anyway. Turning the lights out in Fife for Earth Hour. Basically what's happening is the WWF, not the wrestling organisation, the World Wildlife Federation, are holding a thing on Saturday night at 8:30. Obviously it'll be different time zones worldwide. But everybody turns the lights off for 1 hour as a kind of symbolic show in a way to sort of, like... Oh, sorry.
It's 8 o'clock.
Eh?
It's 8 o'clock.
Aye, that's alright.
We're going to play on their song.
That's alright, that's alright. In a sort of symbolic sense to sort of show how much we could conserve power. So that's on Saturday night at 8:30, if anybody can do it. There's not much of a story. That was just an interesting point that I looked at.
So we could do that.
You want to put on a song? You need to do something?
Yeah, if we put on a song,
Right.
I'll get water, because this is the two bits that are going to be really a lot to say.
Alright, right, cool. So we're going longer. I'll add an air tune then
Aye.
after this. Right, this is Miami Monroe with a track called Wookie. Quality name.
Talking shit that's all
about us. We've got some shit to say about you. We've got some shit to say about you. We've got some shit to say about. And after all we said to us, you're going down. You're just a shadow there in front of us, a face in the crowd.
That tune ends so abruptly that we have to come back in with a quick feed. It's unfortunate. I do remember you, Marie. Fantastic. I totally forgot about that. So,
We missed a week, so we got it.
aye. But we seen Marie the first week,
Aye.
so aye, totally. We remember Marie. You want to lead on while I roll my terrible cancer stick?
We're going to leave the Nazis for last, eh?
Oh yeah.
Right. So, Scottish independence is a thing.
Big things.
Well, it's not a thing. It's maybe going to be a thing. Well, maybe no, actually.
Well,
Well, right, so, let me explain. I'll fucking explain this if it's the death of me, right?
right. So,
On Monday or Tuesday? Monday? Sunday, Nicola Sturgeon made an announcement at Butte House that she was going to make a call for Article 30 in order to get...
Article 50.
No, Article 50 is Brexit.
Oh no. All right. So, all right.
See,
Sorry. I'm an idiot. I'll just shut up. I'll be here if you need me.
she was going to order Article 30, I think is how it's said, to get a second independence referendum based on the fact that the SNP were elected on a manifesto pledge that said that they would get a second independence referendum if the circumstances of the UK changed, and they did. The UK voted to leave the EU while Scotland voted to remain. I've got issues with that, but that's a separate thing. Scotland voted to remain in the EU, the rest of the UK left, and so we're being dragged out of the EU, which is a material change big enough to justify a referendum. Theresa May has blocked that referendum.
Almost within like half an hour.
No, that wasn't an official thing that
Oh, right,
happened.
that was
It was a she's probably going to block it
No.
type deal.
Right.
But now she's official. She essentially just said now is not the time,
Right. So that's it.
which I maybe even kind of agree with. Maybe it's not the time.
I think you've seen
I
that
could
before,
probably be
actually.
convinced either way that yes, it is the time, and no, it isn't the time. But the fact that the UK can block Scotland from having a referendum on whether we should leave is the fucking ultimate basis for leaving the UK. Because that's bullshit that a country needs to ask permission for its big country brer if they could fucking hold a referendum.
It's supposed to be a union. There's no union involved
No.
in that sense. It's just England making a
We're
decision.
better together, aka we're better when you do what we told you.
Can we ask Wales if we could do a referendum? Have
No,
they got
because
any
Wales
say
have
in
got
it?
no say at all.
It's like-
Well, sorry, when has Wales ever said anything?
If it's
They
a
didn't
un-
even implement their own laws. We legalised gay marriage, and England and Wales legalised gay marriage on the same day, because that's just how England and Wales work. Wales just gets whatever England does.
It's mad, isn't it? That they're just powerless. Like, we're powerless.
Well,
But
they might not be for long,
Not,
Steve.
again, well, that's what I'm saying.
Wales and Northern Ireland.
We're powerless right now, but
Now, here's the
Wales
exciting,
are completely...
here's the exciting news, though, Stephen.
Wales getting a referendum.
Plaid Cymru
Alright.
have a.
Is that what you say that? I thought it
reckon.
was played Cymru.
It might not even be Plaid Cymru.
Oh, you might be wrong.
I've got no idea.
So you're also an idiot.
Also an idiot. But they've called for an independence referendum as well.
Oft?
And Sinn Féin
I
of
didn't
Northern
realise even had
Ireland,
people there, to be fair.
Sinn Féin of Northern Ireland
Sinn Féin.
have also called for an independence referendum in Northern Ireland.
Ah.
So
A wee story about Sinn Féin. I always thought Sinn Féin was just somebody's name. I always heard about it. I always seen on the news there was a what was the main guy that was ahead of that for a while? He was like in the news all the time. Bastard.
IRA.
He was quite a well-known figure in that time because he was trying to stop the IRA.
Was there no a guy that was in trying to stop the IRA?
Aye.
Sinn Féin are in favour of the IRA.
Oh no, shite, what one was it?
Sinn Féin, sorry.
Sinn Féin. Fuck. I can never mind his name now. But I always seen him on the telly and I always thought his name was Sinn Féin.
Alright.
So I was always confused with that.
The one of the original people in Sinn Féin were allegedly part of the IRA to the point where they were ordering hits on people.
Jesus.
So one of the biggest politicians.
So I mixed that up. Basically.
Sinn Féin was allegedly could have been a terrorist.
Jesus.
And we don't like terrorists.
The guy was like a kind of grey bearded guy, like no huge
Aye.
beard.
That sounds like the guy.
Was that him?
It sounds like him.
So it was in the news for a completely different reason than I thought.
Maybe.
Right. Reason. Anyway, side story. That was it.
So that's really exciting for me.
Mm.
Imagine if they all went into number 10 and were like, no, we want a referendum. And what if they all won?
Tell you what, if Wales didn't get their independence, right, and we do, come up here, lads.
Aye.
Kennoway Community Shed, open day,
Aye.
10 to 1 on April 4th.
Aye.
Quality.
Totally.
Silly this, but there you go.
Imagine Sinn
Féin, Craig.
Sinn Féin might actually win.
Richard Adams. Nah, that's not his name.
I reckon.
Nah,
Sinn
Sinn Féin,
Féin-
that's his name.
Jesus
Sorry.
Christ.
There you go.
Sinn Féin might actually win an independence referendum in Northern Ireland because I think they might have almost got a majority in Northern Irish Assembly.
Jerry Adams, that was his name.
Is it?
Sorry. Don't read your story again.
That's nice, Stephen.
Sorry, aye.
Super happy you lowered my ignorance.
Aye. It's amazing.
So aye, they might get independence. That's quite exciting.
Awesome.
So do you think we should be independent, Stephen?
I think we should.
Cool.
Get a wee fresh start,
Same.
man.
Move on.
Again, I'm always in the same thing. It's a fucking a wee fresh start. Get to the point where we're kind of rolling our own shite, basically.
I'm in a Facebook group called Sensible Debates, which is irony of the highest order. And there's two really annoying cunts in it. One called John Herd and one called Simon Wright. And they're your typical fucking like arrogant, dismissive, dickheady, sort of braggadocio filled.
Right, you've got to the point now. Right?
Previous no voters, and essentially what they do is they'll say voting yes is a terrible idea because there's no economic argument. And I've personally explained the socialist economic argument. I'm a socialist, so it's obviously going to be the socialist version I'm giving. The socialist economic argument for independent Scotland, which is going to be different for the SNP's version, but there's going to be the same basic things in there that we could do what we want, and that's the thing. And they'll completely bypass that you've written anything and then continue on saying there's no economic argument being...
I've been involved in these kind of things as well.
Fucking read it! Like, they're not even hiding the fact that they're just not reading it. They're purposely just like, oh, that's an economic argument, I'm not going to read it. Which is so intellectually dishonest. And yet they're fucking arrogant about it. You can't be arrogant and just dismiss everything.
It's the same way anything you try to argue with. Like, you try to talk about the paranormal, people just don't accept anything that you're saying. When you try to give them as much factual information as you can, they just completely fucking nosedive past it and don't pay any attention because you're talking against what they're saying. So they're just
a personal attack, which is ridiculous. But this is just, it's something that's been annoying me for ages. And the last time during the independence thing, I was sort of stuck in a bit of an echo chamber. The first time I really,
I definitely was for it.
The first time I really witnessed sort of anybody that disagreed with me on independence, I was in Ryan Allen's house with Robbie McPhail, Bob's son. Ryan Allen. Robbie was voting yes. as far as I remember.
Good man.
Ryan was voting no, and Parker was voting no.
Terrible men.
So there ended up being a debate between me and Parker, and then Ryan found it and put it on Facebook. So
Oh, right, I did. I remember seen about that.
aye, so that was fun. That was a night out that I planned on having to get away from politics,
Right.
because this was a point where people were asking me about politics, which is weird.
Right.
It was normally me bringing up politics to other people. And the hairdresser's getting my hair cut, and then she's like, "Oh, so how are you voting?" Like, oh, fucking, it's a personal decision, Lord. I'm voting yes, totally voting yes.
You should too.
Aye.
Cut my hair perfect.
And she was. So
I wonder if you like voted no, she would like cut your hair wrong. cut a big no.
I hope no.
Cut a big no in the back of your
That'd be
what
fine.
you read.
That'd be fine. Wouldn't be that funny.
Nah, it wouldn't
It'd be quite
wouldn't
shit.
be.
I want to go back.
Totally.
No being back.
There you go.
So we got to the main event of the
Main
podcast.
event, son.
The main event. So right, this is serious now. So let me take a wee drink.
Dead air. Unbelievable.
Delicious. Milky water, man.
Okay, no, good old Kennoway water.
So Nazis are getting popular in Dunfermline.
It is Dunfermline, is it? And Kirkcaldy as well,
Dunfermline.
is it? Or is it that's the area? Look
But around that area, aye.
Aye.
I think it was Common Scotland.
Is that where you found them? I take it.
I think, is that the group?
Common Space.
Common Space.
Common
Space.
Reveal. or something.
Common, aye, whatever.
Aye.
It was Common Summon, and they had posted up a picture of a British movement, sort of like sticker leaflet thing put up somewhere, and they explained who the British movement were, that they're a Nazi organisation, and if they see these up, they were to contact Commonweal or whatever,
Right.
and they would go around and take them down. They didn't want anybody to sort of do anything that might get them in trouble. There's a group known for using violence.
Mm-hmm.
So they were telling people no to do it yourself. Then get yourself in trouble. We'll do it, right?
Mm.
So we decided to reach out to them, didn't we?
Right.
That was a great idea. A wee bit of background though first.
Mm-hmm.
British movement, British National Socialist Party. They're well known for violence and extremism, to the point where they voluntarily gave up their political party status in order to carry on with their extremist tactics, stuff like that. So we decided, because the white people were dismissing them, they were being sort of apathetic, but angrily apathetic. It was like a weird sort of apathy where they were being angry, but just to themselves, and they weren't really doing anything about it. They were just saying fucking Nazis.
Oh yeah.
Whereas I think it's better to be proactive and speak to them. We know what their beliefs are, but we didn't know why their beliefs are that.
That's
So
just
find
exactly
out.
my part of reasoning, trying to reason with them in a sense. We kind of about the ideology, we kind of saw kind of wacky mentalness that I didn't agree with at all.
No.
But getting to the root of the problem of why they believe all that stuff is what we should be doing.
Because there has to be a reason.
It's all too common nowadays for people just to go, oh, they're Nazis, fuck it, leave them to what they're doing, sort of thing. Nobody really wants to fight against them, nobody wants to talk to them, they're just, will take
Or
down
they
the
do,
propaganda.
but by punching them.
Aye.
Which
is a
again
terrible
leaves
shit.
them to go the victim
Aye.
route, where they could say, oh, look at these violent lefties.
Aye. People that are supposed to be...
Or they'll go up to a black guy and call him a nigger, and then he'll punch them and they'll say, oh, see, told you black people are violent. Which just allows mere white people who are a wee bit racist to go, aye, fucking black people. They are violent.
Because let's not forget, there is a lot of people out there that kind of hide their racism.
Aye. Grands and granddads.
Grands and granddads.
Uncles and aunties.
Exactly, aye, totally.
That happens.
Aye.
So we spoke to them. We asked them to come on the podcast so that we can get a proper discussion. I was upfront and honest with them. I said I totally disagree with pretty much everything you say. And they responded saying they couldn't come on for a podcast. They were busy.
Being racist.
Busy being racist, aye. And they were
Like,
getting...
how busy could you be?
They said that they were getting really popular in parts of Cooper and Kirkcaldy.
Right.
They're expecting to hold meetings there in the near future, is what they said.
Right.
Near future, I reckon what that means. So I was like, right, that's unfortunate. Can I ask you a few questions? Since we do a show about politics, it would be nice to have some information for people to know about you.
No.
And I'd like to ask a few questions. So I asked the questions up front.
Mm-hmm.
So it was his choice or her choice. It was their choice if they wanted to answer them or not.
Oh.
So the questions were roughly something like, do you consider yourself racist? Because I know there's sort of people in the skinhead gangs that are like, no, I'm not racist, I just don't like black people.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
which is ridiculous to say.
It's pretty racist.
Oh.
Do you still consider violence to be a justifiable tactic? I can't really remember what else. It was stuff like that. It was pretty average questions. I kind of asked a question that they dodged. They didn't answer it, but I can't remember what the question was, and I've lost the emails.
Well, if they've dodged it, then what's the point?
Aye, so it doesn't matter. So they responded back saying that they condone violence, but right. So here's the thing. This is going to seem like I'm fucking digging at them here. With the context of the sentence, he meant condemn.
Oh yeah.
He didn't mean condone. He just got the words mixed up. So I could have quite easily went on a rant and go, "Oh, fucking Nazis, taking their words."
Because I said that to you once you sent me it. It was like, you could easily just take that out of context and say, "Oh, look, we condone violence," and you could use that as a quote forever.
I could.
But
that's intellectually dishonest.
When you look at the rest of the sentence, you obviously
obviously meant condemn. And then I could then further on go on and say, well, they're Nazis. You think they'd learn English? Like, it could... He might know the difference between the two words, or she, or it might have just been a genuine autocorrect issue. It could have been literally anything. So I'm not going to stick too much on that.
No.
They condemn violence. They said that it negatively affected them, and it was bad for their views, and it was they weren't getting anywhere basically.
No,
because and their plans in the future are to report any criminal activity to the relevant authorities. So they're trying to be. They say they're trying to be as legit as possible at this point. Whether they are is a different story. I reckon if that's going to be the case.
So basically, try to get to the point where they're going to be responsible. Maybe they can get their political sense back.
They're maybe going to try and be a legitimate political party again. I think it's going to go that well, but you don't know. They fully admitted to being openly racist, and I'm going to read the paragraph. Trigger warning.
Aye.
This I heavily disagree with pretty much every word in this. Genuinely can't comprehend.
I'm kind of annoyed that we need to keep saying that as well. Like we've said it at the beginning of the podcast, but I can people just take shit out of context all the time, and I do realise that we have to keep fucking saying that all the time because people just listen to this part of the podcast as well because they want to hear us saying this. But sure.
this is a bit that I cannot comprehend how people could say this without laughing.
Yeah.
This is so ridiculous to me. Right, I'm going to read it now.
Go for it.
So I asked them if they consider themselves racist, if they use the term and stuff like that. And they said, race is vitally important to us, and why shouldn't it? Why shouldn't we be thankful to be part of the greatest people to have ever walked the face of this earth? Haven't we a right to be proud of our own advancement and prosperity, our achievements? We have Black Lives Matter and the Black Panthers gather-ups. Is it not time now we begin to challenge these wholly prejudiced and racist groups too? It's only ever the white man who warrants the label, sadly.
I love when he thinks that due to like human evolution and human ingenuity that we've had all these great ideas, but he just equates that to being like, oh, the white people have all the great ideas. It's amazing that he's just done that.
Do you know why the white people have the most prosperous nations?
Because there's just many.
They stole black people.
Well, there you go. Aye, actually,
aye. There wasn't even white people that got their hands dirty. They stole black people and done it for them.
Literally stole them as well.
Aye, literally stole them. They, in fairness, the other black slave owners, but we still stole black people and made them do all the work for us. And we're like, see, the whites are the only civilised ones. It's ridiculous. I cannot believe people are believing this stuff. Genuinely believe it.
Do you think there's like parts he's missed out in history, or just like he just chooses not to?
I guaranteed he doesn't ken much history. Right. Guaranteed.
That's why I want to
get them on to speak.
This is why we need to get them on, because this is all well and good, but it's just fucking a quote sort of thing. I need to get them speaking about it.
I'm curious. I really want them to just elaborate on every single fucking thing that's in here, because to me it's nonsense. To me it's total. There's nothing that's even almost true there.
No.
Black Lives Matter is a response group. It's reactionary. It's no made up to attack anybody. Is there people in the Black Lives Matter movement that are dicks? Yes.
Same every movement.
It was reactionary. It was about black people being. It was about innocent black people being killed by police. It's no. And the Black Panthers again was a reactionary group to the KKK, and the Black Panthers were socialists as well. So they went around to help the black communities who were victims of white racism. And yes, was there a gang portion of the Black Panthers? Yes, they went to prison. That's how they got that. So they just became the black version of the Aryan Brotherhood, where they just became racist and violent. But that wasn't the whole Black Panthers. That was the dickhead version that went to prison. It's fucking. It's totally taken out of context anything that's happened in history just to suit a white racist agenda. I really want to hear them elaborate on every single thing they've said there, because I don't think they can. I genuinely don't think they can.
I mean, I think they will try to elaborate, but they'll not have anything of substance.
Well, you could easily paint them into a corner. You could say, well, how are we better if we relied on them to build it for us? Surely they're better. They're better workers. If they weren't better workers, we'd use white slaves. But how are they going to respond to that? I don't even care how I would respond to that.
I'm struggling to respond to it.
There's...
So the crux of the issue is we need to get them on.
Aye.
See if we can defend ourselves in a kind of talking setting, because we're able to do that, but are other people?
The ending of the message is the part that I quite like.
Sorry.
Indeed, I can say that we are now what Nasty Nicola has had sleepless nights over. A true revolutionary-based form of racial socialism on her own doorstep. Well, how about just saying non-racist socialism?
I mean,
there's two parties that do that. The best one being Solidarity, obviously. They've got an amazing candidate in Fife called Craig Duncan. He's a legend in the game.
I know she didn't big up Bill very much.
Well, has Bill got a podcast? How many times have I been on Bill's podcast?
I suppose you could say that.
Exactly. Bill gets to do fucking meetings with Tommy Sheridan. I didn't get that. I got left in the sidelines. I'm going to kick out the party now.
Oh, there you go. Again, it's just quotes. It's just what the guy said, and we can only kind of repeat it. We can't have a conversation with him. But we'll keep trying to get that done. I'm sure Craig will. It's Craig's job. But I definitely want to speak to him rather than fucking this back and forward, because it's just pointless. But it's interesting. So if anybody was interested in that, congratulations, you're mental.
We're not Nazis.
We're not Nazis. Again, we need to fucking put that out there, because, well, shit gets put out of context a lot of the time. So that's pretty much the end of the podcast, man.
Hang on, I might have Mayor Nazi.
Oh.
There's apparently...
You might have Mayor Nazi.
KKK meetings about 6 miles away for Ronnie.
What, Ed? In Bonnie... Rugg,
aye.
Jesus.
And she sent me a link to the men's shed thing.
Right.
The Australian men's shed it is about.
Right.
Cool.
There you go. Well, just want to say thank you for everybody tuned in. That's fucking quality, man. A good few different people that tuned in.
There's roughly about 3 million, so big ups.
Aye, totally. We'll find out exactly how much at the right end.
Aye, once we're off the air.
Aye. We'll figure it out ourselves. It's great. We just realised the other day how much fucking downloads we get on this podcast. It's quite interesting. Just
2,600
just in the past year, and plays are way up at where was it?
5,500.
Ah, that's pretty fucking interesting.
Oh, is that in the last year?
That's just in this.
Holy
this
shit!
year.
I was
No,
wondering.
that's for the beginning, but we've only had this up for like a year and a half.
The plays have went down for 7,000 odd.
Because I think plays included downloads the last time.
All right.
So that's separated now.
Oh, nice.
So there you go.
With only 15 followers.
Aye,
Those
that's-
15 people have downloaded a lot of shit, haven't they?
But we get a lot of plays for iTunes and shit like that. There's like tons of fucking plays and downloads and
Oh, it's
iTunes.
ridiculous
we get.
about
It's
iTunes.
crazy. And we didn't get any of the fucking people.
No, we're taking how much plays we're getting through iTunes, we're taking how much
We
downloads.
keep asking and we hear nothing.
Oh.
So I've just given. So again, thanks for everybody tuning in. You can find all our links below, like in the wee description area, to catch us on like Facebook and all that stuff. And
Final
emails.
announcement. Solidarity's doing a stall in Kennoway on Saturday from 12 till 2. There's also a branch meeting in Dunfermline on Monday. Both open. You're free to come along. You get a wee leaflet. You get to ask me about my policies and call me a cunt if my policies are shit, if you want. Public meeting, again, you get access to Bill as well, who's the candidate for
West
Burnt
Kirkcaldy.
Island, Kirkcaldy West and Kinghorn, I think is what the ward's called. You get to speak to them and sort of ask us about the policies again. So if you want to come along to any of them, you're free to.
Excellent, man. Excellent. I've not got nothing on, so
No.
there you go. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks very much. The last tune we're going to play is from Colonel Mustard and the Dijon 5. I love that name. They're quite well known in Glasgow. They've got a thing called the Yellow Movement, which is basically loads of people that dress in yellow, and they follow the band like a bad smell. It's fucking amazing. It's a great wee
Is that
movement.
an mustard joke?
Yes, it is. I'll just say it is. Aye, absolutely. But can Bobby the Barman for still game?
Is he in this?
He's sort of a big fan of them, sort of thing. He's in a lot of the videos and shit a lot of the time as well. So it's a track called International Sex Hero,
Nice.
which was a tune that was done for a guy in ICW, the wrestling company in Glasgow, who was supposed to be like an 80s like porn star lookalike. So the music video for this is fucking amazing because it's got him in it and they're in ICW. Loads of like sexual innuendo stuff that he does and he's wrestling. Fantastic, man. So this is a Colonel Mustard and DJ 5 International Sex Hero. Cheers.
Rock and roll. I've been there and done it all. From Inverness, Donegal. Believe the hype, believe the rumours. Strength of a bear, speed of a puma. I dance all night like John Travolta. I make love like Casanova. International sex hero is coming to the rescue. The international sex hero is gonna save the day. He's 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 gonna save the day. I'm the international sex hero, the changing face of rock and roll. Been on the scene, living the dream, from Monterey to Aberdeen. Stay off track and stay in school. These are my two simple rules. I throw shades all day with Cassius Clay, give me sexual healing with Marvin Gaye. International sex hero is coming to the rescue. The international sex hero is gonna save the day. He's 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 gonna save the day. International sex hero is coming to the rescue. The international sex hero is gonna save the day. He's gonna save the day. He's gonna save the day. He's gonna save take to Aberdeen. Stay off crack and stay in school. These are my two simple rules. I throw shapes all day like Cassius Clay. Give you sexual healing with Marvin Gaye. International sex hero is coming to the rescue. The international sex hero is gonna save the day. He's 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 gonna save the day. International